My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slay the Spire. It's time to play the Defect in the Heartbreaker Chronicles Ascension 20. One of two characters who are now on Ascension 20. What up, Ironclad? Remove a card from the deck with 7 max HP are the only options I'll really accept here. Transforming 2 cards. If it wasn't for obtaining a curse, and then the possibility that the card that I obtain is as bad as a curse, I might consider that option. Oh, this is a really poor map. I may actually take this lane, because then I can get an early shop for either a pickup of a card that might help us or a removal. Then I can go to a campfire, a campfire, a campfire, and then the first elite. So that allows me to get 2 upgrades, the zap and the dual cast before the first elite. I fear that if I go on this left-hand side, I die if 2 of these 3 elites are Gremlin Knob. I probably do okay if 2 of them are Lagavulin. For what it's worth, okay. The reason that I'm talking about 2 of them is because when you encounter one elite, the next elite combat cannot be the same elite. So if we encounter Gremlin Knob first, the second one won't be Gremlin Knob, but the final one has a 50-50 of being Gremlin Knob, because this one has a 50-50 of being either character that is not Gremlin Knob, which means that this one has a 50-50 of being whatever character this one wasn't, as well as Gremlin Knob. So your chances are god-awful as you continue. I'm going to go for the removal on the strike. I'm looking to very, very early have a pickup on... yikes. Have a pickup on something along the lines of like a ball lightning or a cold snap. Just to replace that strike with something with objectively higher value. Okay, first battle was pretty easy there. So, let's talk about static discharge. Because throughout my Ascension grind, that is to say not my Heartbreaker, but my Ascension grind, and probably all of my low Ascension runs in Defect, I've completely skipped static discharge. Why is static discharge something that I've suddenly started taking and prioritizing highly? The reason is because not up to Ascension 15 rather, sorry, but between Ascension 17 and 19, the changes in boss, elite, and normal enemy patterns means that most fights will cause you damage. Not all of them, mind, but most of them. And at that rate, static discharge is 1 energy for when upgraded. Over the course of a fight, oftentimes 4 or 6 lightning orbs, which is pretty considerably powerful. It's also worth noting that there are a lot of bosses that this can hard counter. And also, when you get to the boss at the end, that is to say the heart, they do a multi-hit that you are very unlikely to be able to block all of. And static discharge allows you to benefit whilst not blocking that. It is one of those cards that I looked at immediately and said, oh, I never want to trigger that. But realized gradually that in the higher ascensions, you don't always have the choice. Take a static discharge here. Consider that every elite hits us multiple times. It's a really poor hand there. Hopefully I get like triple defense. Okay, what? We've got 16, 19, 19s, 25, 25s, 28. Okay, the zap's not enough, unfortunately. So we can't just go all aggressive here as much as I'd like to. Charge battery. I really, really, really like charge battery. I am a fan. Okay, not bad. Extra energy, hopefully. Bunch of defenses, or not. That's fine too, I guess. Not particularly pleased with, though. Dual cast would have been lethal. Go for the Eyes is... Go for the Eyes is very powerful in the Defect. Not because it's a zero cost card. Not because, zero cost for 3 damage as well as a weaken is particularly powerful. It's because the Defect doesn't have access to many other weaken abilities. So you can't compare this to Neutralize. You have to compare it to, does the Defect have anything else that introduces weakness reliably? No? Well, then you kind of have to settle. That said, Rip and Tear is very, very large damage early on. I feel like I want to take that. One of the problems I run into here is that I think there are two Defect builds that are powerful enough to take out the Heart in A20. Or at least reliably. And that is a Mummified Hand power stacking build or a focus stacking orb build. So the more I introduce cards like Charge Battery to my deck and Rebound and Rip and Tear, the further I get from a deck that is as highly condensed with orb generating cards and orb benefiting cards as I'd like. That said, I can't take a barrage here speculatively. Oh no, I can! I have the static discharge. Never mind. Alright, cool. I feel a lot better about that now. Sure. Rather not take damage this turn. Yeah, nothing I can really do there. This is the exact kind of position in which we play Static Discharge. Not exactly the hand I wanted, but it's the hand I got. Okay. Awesome. Capacitor. Capacitor never shows up for me, so when it does show up, yes, I understand that that's a contradiction. I kind of leap on it. Especially when I've already included a barrage in my deck. Mm-hmm. Well, this sucks. Oh, I really want to dual cast for the possibility of killing that spike slime. Would have been incredibly efficient. I'm not taking the... What is it? It's a 50-50, then a 50-50, then a 50-50. So it's a 12.5% chance that it would have to fail each way, right? Yeah, 12.5% chance that the spike slime stays alive after all of my zap orbs go off. I'd rather not give that the possibility of screwing me up by 10 HP. Great. Probably not time for a second static discharge. I like boot sequence a lot. Especially in a deck that already has a couple powers in it. I'm going to go for the healing here rather than the max HP. I usually, as a rule, go for the max HP there. Art of War, if you don't play any attacks during your turn, gain additional energy next turn. We're relatively likely to trigger that fairly often. Triggered it once. I have more powers that I want to get out before I wake up the enemy, but I recognize that I have no defense in the rest of my deck, or rather I have very little. Wow. Never mind. This is a very poor way to wake up the enemy. Ow. We're going to take some damage here. Thank you for the lightning orb. Yeah, this ain't great. We needed more lightning orbs up earlier for this to really be a strat. Whetstone upon pick up upgrade to random attacks, but I'll get the self-repair first. Not that it makes a difference. Auto shield is super powerful. First copy of it in the deck is really good. We're over defending right now. There's one problem that we have. Not offending as much as we'd like. I kind of want to take the auto shields and a cold snap here, so I will. And not really bemoan the things there that I couldn't take. Because if I couldn't take them, I couldn't take them. I'm going to upgrade the static discharge because despite the fact that we have a lot of block in our deck, we do take damage. It's whether or not I want to go to an elite here or not. Decides whether or not I rest. So what, we had the... Oh, a gremlin knob instantly kills us. We can't go to the elite. Instantly? Well, it doesn't instantly kill us, but we would have to rest directly thereafter. Alright, I'm gonna go for the safe. Damn it. Completely missed the space effectively there. Okay. Goal here is generate as many orbs as I possibly can, as early as I possibly can. Question here is, do I play the barrage? I'm going to play the self-repair, and the exclusive reason to play that is so that I never have that self-repair come up ever again. As much as I'd like to play the Rip and Tear there, it's more important that I get a Frost Orb, considering how, I guess, poor our defense is going. Having all these orbs for these passives is really important for us. Okay, so I zap, strike, charge energy, and then barrage. In that order. I'll elect not to play the dual cast here because I'd very much like to still have that Frost Orb up by the next round, because yes, the next round is much more potent in terms of its damage. So what am I looking for directly after this boss? Let's start talking about that, because this boss appears to not be a problem for us. Electrodynamics. Exclusively. Damn it. I was going to call out Fission or Echo Form, but the thing is, I really want Electrodynamics, and I don't really want anything else. I guess Fission's okay. The problem is we spend a long time accumulating our orb slots because we have one generator. This generator occurs in our opponent's turns, so we can't immediately revive our orbs directly after we've played Fission. And two. We have two orb generators in the party. So Fission is a little less powerful as a result of that. Echo Form. Echo Form's really good, but the problem is finding the time to play it. That's an upgraded Pandora's Box rune right there. Well, we didn't get the energy that I was really looking for, but... full stop, I guess. Pandora's, we've already removed a strike, got an upgraded strike, no upgraded defense. We have a couple of defense in the deck. Now, usually the reason that you don't take a Pandora's Box is because you're worried about not being able to defend thereafter. We have 2 charged batteries, a boot sequence, and auto shields, a cold snap, and some self-repair for some self-healing. I'm gonna roll it. Consume, white noise, reinforced barrier, cool-headed, all of those are fine. Biased cognition, it depends. Steam barrier, quite good. And thunder strike. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thunder. Sorry, it's quite good. It won't be good in standard floor battles, which is probably where we die. Our boss is the champ. So Thunderstrike is really good to have a ramping ability against the champ. I'm looking for a path here that isn't just elites, because like this is a 4 elite path with 1 rest. That's not enough. It just isn't. I don't want to keep my orbs up here. Fight's not going to go 5 more turns. Right? Let's go for the draw first. Took me a while there, but I realized I had lethal. Blizzard. Oh, it's pre-upgraded as well. The thing is, we don't have that much frost generation. We have 1 cool-headed and 1 cold snap. But the thing is, am I going to take every copy of Glacier as soon as I see it? Yes. Yes, I am. Kinda. Means that I should probably make a consideration for that then. What do I want to double up? Rip and Tear or Cold Snap? I'm feeling it's Cold Snap. Just because the next turn the enemy is very likely to attack and I don't want to overplay my defense. Yeah, that's a lot of... Whew, that's a lot of damage. Double play Biased Cognition? Yeah, probably. It's the best defense that I can get out of that turn is the reason that I felt that that was necessary. And then I'll play the Static Discharge because that's actually going to be an absurd amount of damage here. We take 4 and then the enemy takes 16 and generates 18 on our part. That should have been self-repair first. That's my bad. Enemy dead. Gargod. Gargod. Darkness. I don't know. I don't think a darkness stacking build is viable in A20. That said, I haven't tried it in A20. I found it very difficult to get off the ground consistently in lower Ascensions, which is effectively what is hinting me towards this idea. That said, we also definitely need Cold Snap because of what we took earlier. I'm feeling it's probably Thunderstrike just because No. See, Thunderstrike is a really good boss killing card for us. It allows all of the lightning that we generate from Static Discharge, and we will generate a lot from it in boss fights in particular, to be translated into direct damage, rather. But if I'm relying on that, does that mean I'm relying on taking damage in a deck that is primarily defensive? I think so. Awful. Not really what I want here. Best defense I could cobble together. Time to generate a bunch of lightning. Damn it, couldn't have killed the target there. That would have saved me a lot of HP. Definitely can't go for victory here. That's a bad idea. I don't know if you can do that in A20. I mean, without a ridiculously broken build prior. We don't have AoE. But the thing is, getting weakness on our enemies on turn 1 is really powerful. This is going to give me an extra energy next turn, as well as Echo Form up, which is pretty ridiculous. Heal 14 after the battle. So we can double up on Biased Cognition. Murder me. Playing the Dex Potion wouldn't have saved us there. We would have saved 2 HP on turn 1, and then we would have saved 4 HP on the second turn, and we died by 18. That's okay, though. 7 for 250. I actually quite like that option. Okay. We'll be a bit more gutsy in our second attempt here. Take a compile driver. I've heard a lot of comments that I don't take. Probably should have been regret there. I've heard a lot of comments that I don't take compile driver enough, especially considering a lot of my strategies tend to go towards frost and lightning builds. I could see that. I'm worried that the reason that I don't do it is because I compare compile driver to pommel strike unfavorably. But is that a fair comparison? I made the same point earlier about, thank you for turning up so that I could make this, go for the eyes. It's a thing that this class doesn't have a lot of access to, so that makes it better. Is that relevant in this situation? Maybe. I don't know. I feel it maybe. Melter is actually quite good against the boss at the end of this floor. I'll take Go for the Eyes because I'm going to be going for a bunch of elites. I really like taking Hand of Greed early. It's also a lot of damage. It's like a surprisingly large amount of damage. Other than that, I really want the Regal Pillow, then Charged Battery. That actually seems like a really good shot to me. Would I take another Zap? No. Here's the reasoning. Zap is garbage until you upgrade it. And I have 2 in the deck, and I haven't upgraded, or rather, I would have 2 in the deck. I haven't even upgraded the other one, and I have exactly 1 midline rest on this floor. I'm not going to have an abundance of opportunities to upgrade out. I would take Streamline. I don't want Recycle. Recycle, I don't feel, is a particularly powerful card. Outside of decks that have Dead Branch or Meteor Strike or are doing weird things. And the reason that I believe that is because you, number one, have to upgrade Recycle before it's usually a positive amount of energy for us. But you have to play Recycle and exhaust another card, which means that you have 3 cards remaining in your hand out of a 5-card hand to expend that energy on. It's very expensive. Streamline is here. Thank you. I don't want multicast. This is Hand of Greed over Streamline. I just need the instantaneous damage. My next hand's not likely to be too costly, so playing the charge battery there doesn't seem like a great idea. Come on, strike Hand of Greed. Got him. Data Disc. Start each combat with 1 focus. Hell yes. Take nothing out of that pack. I really feel like either Go for the Eyes or Streamline has to be upgraded here, just because I'm pushing through 3 elites in a row. I'm already committed to this path, by the way. Maybe it's even Hand of Greed for the 5 extra damage. I think it is. Ugh. I'm going to hope to get up my second Zap before I wake up the Lagavulin. Okay, it looks like I might get that and Streamline on the same turn, which is nice. Cool. First play of the Streamline there before the enemy wakes up. Well, while the enemy wakes up, I guess. And not a bad turn. Not a great turn, but not a bad turn either. I desperately want to play the Hand of Greed here, but I recognize that is probably suicide. Just because of the fact that we have the other elites past this point. That's 8. I can deal 8 myself as well. That's really unfortunate for us. Well, at least we get to Hand of Greed the opponent. Got him. Art of War, if you're not playing any attacks during your turn, gain additional energy next turn, as well as it has to be Glacier. I need the defense in this deck already. Frozen Egg is ridiculous for this character. Any power you add to your deck is pre-upgraded. I play the Zap first there because I desperately need the Frost Orbs. I'm saying desperately a lot here, and that is because we are desperate, exactly. 18, 50. All right, cool. Tiny chest. Upon pickup, gain 30 gold. You're 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. Second Glacier. Woo! Oh, okay. All right. This just got like a lot closer. I play the Glacier here just so that I have extra defense on later turns. Yes, I recognize I just said that 2 different ways in 2 different instances. Does it matter? Oh my god, Defragment pre-upgraded. Hell yes. And it's Lagavulin. As long as we get the Defrag... I can't believe that turned up. I was just about to say that. Oh my gosh. Let's get the extra damage out. No, it should have been charged because then I could have played 2 Glaciers in this thing. Should be the charge. So we can get 12. It's not bad. Hopefully I get dual cast in the next hand. We'll compile driver first for the extra draw, but... Yes, at this point, even I will concede that I have been extraordinarily lucky this floor. My gosh, really? Bottled Lightning pumping up chooses skill. Started combo with the card in your opening hand. Cool-Headed is a lot better now that we already have a Defragment as well as a Data Disc. I believe it should probably be a Glacier in my opening hand here. It's weird, but I don't want to take an extra damage this turn. I also get 2 extra energy for playing the card that I elected to play there. Tempest is a lot of damage for this build when I get an Electrodynamics, which I would immediately take. Do I need an Explosive Potion? Not over the available options. Pre-upgraded Storm and a Mayhem I'm actually considering. Cost 1 less for each power card played this combat. We don't play enough, early enough, to take that force field, I don't believe. But God, we're not far from it. Do I rest here or upgrade? Do I think that I am going to take damage in this combat? That's effectively what I'm asking myself there. I think I will take a fair bit of damage. I'll elect to rest. Get extra energy next turn. Dunk the enemy. Mayhem plays a fully upgraded Tempest. Thank you, Mayhem. The problem that that actually introduces is I now can't play my Streamline. Oh, well. At least we get extra energy next turn from Art of War. Dual cast? Yeah, sure, fine. Mayhem plays... Go for the eyes, yeah, may as well. Have to play in that order so that I can get the maximum damage in without hitting a block a bunch of times there. They did defend. I'm more interested in giving myself extra energy for next turn. I feel like this deck... That's the problem. Like, it just randomly hits occasionally. I feel like this deck needs... What does it need? I think this deck is, you know, half offensive turns and half defensive turns, and the play is really going to be in figuring out which is which. Electrodynamics immediately. Thank you. Yes, please. The problem here is that extra energy is really powerful because we have Electrodynamics, 2 cost, 2 cost, 2 cost, 2 cost, draw, X cost, draw. 2 costs on the first shuffle. So... each of these likely only draws 1 card. The only thing that I'm concerned about is if Velvet Choker counts the Mayhem card as one that I played, this is going to be a problem. If it doesn't, we're okay. It's also worth noting that I have a Glacier bottled and I have an innate Storm. I'm very heavily incentivized to play each of those, which makes my life quite difficult. So there's a path over here that has 2 early shops. I can just pick up the power from each. And then there's 4, count them, 4 midline rests. It's very powerful. Oh my gosh. It has to be Electrodynamics Glacier. By Tempest, that's 8 AoE plus 12. It's not 8 AoE. Sorry, it's 18 AoE plus 12. It's not enough. It does count. That's really poor. I don't think Velvet Choco should count Mayhem. I really don't. I don't see it being viable. Because we have the Electrodynamics, Ball Lightning is more powerful, so I kind of have to take it. The AoE this floor is very important. Loop. At the start of your turn, trigger the passive ability of your next orb 2 times. Yes, thank you. Rather not take any damage this turn that I don't have to. Oh. Pre-upgraded self-repair. It's just an easy decision there. Do I take a Sweeping Beam? Sweeping Beam is less incentivized because drawing cards is less powerful because I am already playing 1 card every turn courtesy of the Mayhem, and I have the Velvet Choker. Now, a lot of people, as I've mentioned before, get very mad about Velvet Choker without necessarily any good reason to be. It's worth noting that it will change the way that I play, but so would every boss relic that I take. I will agree that it is not particularly fun game design, but not taking an energy and dying also ain't fun. No discussion on that. That had to happen. Zap and Dual Cast and Tempest are high priorities here. Zap because the... Could have been worse. Zap because it is demanded by the Electrodynamics. Really? Well, that'll do it. Blood Vial at the start of each combat heal for 2 HP. Reinforced Body versus Steam Barrier. Reinforced Body is a lot of defense. So the Glaciers that we already have in the deck, does that mean the Steam Barrier is what I want for a small amount of defense that I can fit in between the turns? The problem is it's a 0-cost card in a deck that doesn't really want them, but it is pre-upgraded, which does incentivize it a little more. This allows me to play the Tempest at the very end of a turn at the very least to get some benefit. Shuriken? This deck doesn't benefit from Shuriken. I'm taking the Sapphire Key. I don't want to pivot and then lose the power this deck already has just to try and capitalize on something that I'm not particularly good at in this deck. Okay, so that's what? 13 block? 13, 8 is 21. Okay. I forgot that was going to generate a lightning orb. I should have dual cast first, though. Okay. That'll do. Plus, we get 10 healing. Oh my god! Did you have to play that? I could have eaten the enemy. Equilibrium is actually quite powerful here. It's just a nice, large, individual block card. Yes, fighting. Taking less damage on turn 1 gives us more time to set up our stuff. I'm going to negate the dex loss here. Just in case Electrodynamics is at the bottom of our draw pile. Rather be safe than sorry. See why? Oh, yes. Good target. Good target. Red Mask. At the start of each combat, apply 1 vulnerability to all enemies. Ugh. I think it actually has to be the cool-headed here. Just for the extra defense, because we're tending further away from that right now. Do I go for the extra elite or extra? It's extra elite. It isn't even close. Oh my god, really? Yeah, that's a first turn and a half right there. Oh, give me the self-repair. Damn. Pre-upgraded heat sinks in a deck that is intentionally going to pick up every power card available? Okay. But it's worth noting the OK isn't exactly that tone of voice. Okay. Next hand, actually, you know what? Oh no, I have used an attack, damn. I was about to say, the extra energy in the next hand for the Tempest is going to be particularly powerful, but we already kind of gave that one up. Ornamental Fan, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. I would take Skim, but Velvet Choker. I'm gonna upgrade Go for the Eyes. 2 turns of Weaken is twice as good as 1 turn of Weaken. I know! Where do I come up with these insights? Okay. Electrodynamics doesn't matter in this battle. I don't need the AoE. It's a generation of a lot of damage, sure, but does that damage matter? No? Maybe I don't need it then. I don't have a ramping element in this fight, which is probably the thing about which I am most terrified. I play the Tempest there just to get it out of my deck. I want more defensive cards and fewer cards that are the Tempest, I guess. Okay, enemy transforms this turn. I need to get out a lot of offense very quickly here. Thankfully, I'm not vulnerable at all this turn, which is really good. Great position to be in. Cool. It's worth noting, by the way, for the people that are very, very annoyed that I took Velvet Choker, it has interfered with my play 0 times so far. It has prevented me from making 1 card choice. I don't need to perfect this fight. It's fine. Focus motion. Ooh. Echo form pre-upgraded. I mean, yes. Interesting. Let's go by the process of elimination. It is definitely not the calling bell. I don't want to lose. Is it the astrolabe? Possibly. I'm considering the nuclear battery. Now, the reason I'm considering the nuclear battery is because in the early game, we need a little bit more extra energy so that we can play out all of our different powers. And then we need it less later on. But I feel like that's not interfered with yet, unless we get, I guess, Echo Form the opening hand. It's worth noting, if I get 2 powers in my opening hand, I also have Glacier in my opening hand, so the majority of the time there, I would be evoking my nuclear battery to play nothing. Is that a good point? Yeah, I feel it actually is. It's also worth noting that I can't transform unupgraded strikes. I have no unupgraded strikes. What would I transform? Well, Streamline, probably. I think it's close. I think a case could be made either way. I think I want to go Strike, Defend, Streamline. Oh my god, really? Amplify on the first shuffle? Yeah, it's okay. Capacitor? Very important. Static Discharge? Very important later on. I'll take 1 damage here to deal a bunch. Oh my gosh. Money. The money is particularly important here for us. I did it in that order because I knew that I already had all of the cards that I wanted in my hand, and I didn't want to draw an Electrodynamics that I wouldn't be able to play. Second capacitor, thank you so much. Oh my god. Capacitor is what was missing from this build. The fact that we now have it. I don't mean to speak out of turn, but it is gonzo wild insane. I hope that wasn't too crude.
Why did I have to get them in this order?
Echo form, and then... Oh my gosh, yes. Weaken, as well as a dual cast to help keep myself... Yeah, somewhat healthy. Thankfully, we already have the Echo form up, which now means that if we play the... Oh gosh. I want the defense, right? No, but I have lethal if I just play Defragment and... Right? Four extra lightning, 13, 13, 13. 2 13s kills. 8. Yeah, no, we've got lethal. I really wanted to get to my... Bullseye's going to be really good here. I really wanted to get back to my... self-repair there, because I could have played 2 at the same time. Definitely don't teleport. Thank you very much. Self-repair. Yeah, I'll take a second self-repair. The thing that kills this deck is if we... Can I tell you legitimately what I was about to say? The thing that kills this deck is if we die. Good work, you giant moron. People die when they are killed. So we're going to take some damage this turn, but we're about to heal 20 as soon as we finish the fight, so somehow I feel like we're probably okay. Okay, so we healed 30 instead, second loop. Yeah. Very good. Pre-upgraded. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. I'm very much hoping for electrodynamics in the next hand, because that's a lot of enemies to take care of. Oh, dear. 50 plus 32. Yeah, with 50 plus 32. Ouch. 82, obviously. Plus 18. It's 100 damage incoming this turn. On turn 2. What's the best that we can do? I think it has to be bullseye on this target. By the way, what it's worth, the path that I elected to go down was going to be here. Take the first elite, rest, shop, and then go up to the boss. We were going to take exactly one elite this floor. The Reptimancer having 2 summoned on the first turn and not having any damage to take care of them is a problem. Capacitor is effectively a lightning orb generation for us, right? The problem is, I think if I have enough lightning orbs, one of them has to kill the dagger. This dagger in particular. Otherwise, we lose. Loop and capacitor this turn are lightning generation. Let's consider that. So 2 lightning. We'll have 3 total. 3 total lightning gives us what? A 1/5, 1/5, 1/5 each roll. What's my best chance? So we're already defended for 25. If I use the speed potion, we can get another 13. Takes us to 38. 38's not going to be enough to save us is the problem. One of the 25s needs to die. And even then, we're going to have trouble. Oh, God. If I play Capacitor Loop Bullseye, can I live? At that rate? That's 18, 32, 50, 75, 75. No, not unless I play the defend. Right? That's still 75 incoming damage. Versus 70 defense. Speed potion doesn't save us. If we don't kill a target with the dagger, we're still dead. Speed potion or no. So it just has to be defend bullseye the front dagger. Wait, it could be bullseye the back dagger, right? No, it can't. Lightning orb would deal 9 damage in that case. It has to be bullseye on the front line. Fingers crossed. We lose.
What an interactive video game.
You know, occasionally that happens. I wasn't planning on taking that many elites this floor, so it's kind of dispiriting to recognize that the first one completely destroyed me with 100 damage on turn 2. Like, that feels probably like too much. Just a little. Just a wee bit. Way too much damage on turn 2. Well, that's okay. It's not, but that's okay. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. I thought that was going to be a win too. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves regardless, and hopefully we'll see you next time.